It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Turn on the tube, what do I see? A whole lot of people crying, don't blame me. They point their crooked little fingers at everybody else. Spend all the time feeling sorry for themselves. Victim of this, victim of that. Your mama's too thin and your daddy's too fat. Get over it.
Yeah, just get over it. Get over it. Get over it. Quit pitching a fit and crying and whining and bitching, moaning and whatnot. You know, I've been getting a lot of calls on the Quartzite thing. I right before I left to go to Los Angeles, I did a show with Joyce Riley's Power Hour. It's nationally syndicated, and got a lot of response. And I'll tell you, you know, my whole thing has been it's very simple if you know what to look for. And it comes down to this, you know, who has the leasing rights to the surface land use of blah, blah, blah. It's like it's ranch land thing. If you go out, and a lot of people that have ranches, they have the cattle, and you're in, you know, anywhere in the Southwest out here, it was a big deal in the late 70s going into the Reagan administration. It's called the Sagebrush Rebellion, where they had the government was trying to limit what they could or couldn't. It's just desert. I mean, it's out there, desert, nothing. Oh, we got to save the, you know, whatever, can't have cows on it. So what they do is you go out and you'll pay to the government it's not a lot. I mean, you know, it's, I don't know, it depends on where you're at, but you pay for the leasing of the land to run cattle and or do whatever. You know, have a shooting range. They've done that before. Ultralight landing strip, remote control airplane park. Have, you know, you're not changing or developing or building any big structures or anything. They can kick you off whenever they want. There's not like you're building an apartment building or anything. But when the developers want to, then the guys that had that lease, they got to make them whole. You know, they got a lease on it for X amount of years or whatever. So what they do is they say, all right, what we're going to do is give you this lease. When we need it to develop or something, then you can negotiate whatever. Well, I go, look, I've seen this happen before. It happens a lot, as a matter of fact, here in the Valley and expansion of the Southwest. And I go, you check that in Quartzite. Who are the people that's going to financially benefit from development and them annexing all kinds of property? You do that, problem solved. You can find out who's what. Oh, it's an attorney for the trust of and the beneficiary of Councilman, what's his name? Well, what does that tell you? Okay. So, you know, we need an Ernie and we got, and I say, have you checked that? Well, we haven't got, well, until you do that, you're not even serious. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. Go away. Now, the Oath Keepers have the event August 27th. Jordan Page is coming. Now, we went, and Jordan, you put that up on it's on the front page of Freedom's Phoenix right now. Go in there, do a little chip in, $5, $10, $20, whatever, you know, for Jordan to come out. They got to raise a couple thousand. They got a good start on it, you know, $500, $600 or something. But, you know, we got a couple of weeks. We just need to, you know, make sure that we got a party. So I don't want to be in charge of this thing. Now I'll go out and cover it, and I'll make sure that they know they need, you know, a place and a this and that. It looks like they got it kind of going on. But as time is going on, I talked to someone from out there today. There's already other interests going in. Well, we need to, you know, it's just, keep in mind, of a town of a couple thousand people, all of a sudden in the winter months, it's the fourth largest community in Arizona. You got 100,000 RVs go out there, people all over the country paying attention to this, and they have whatever interest, and they want to start getting in and negotiating where they're going to be on this thing. So I'm not there to save nothing other than to use it as a perfect example of how government works. That is my point, and what the role is of the people. Now, there are people that want to help, there are people with tension, but you know what? Really, who's being abused in this is someone that's 70-something years old that moved out there when they retired from their government, whatever the heck position, you know, the 55 years old teacher or something that went out there to live inexpensively, be left alone. It was good for their asthma. And they're sitting there doing just fine on their fixed income and retirement and having a good old time and yeehaw. And then all of a sudden they get annexed into this city and community and their bills start going up and water triples and their sewer and this and that. And all of a sudden they can't afford to live there anymore. And they're like, what the heck? Let's go to the city council. And, man, what just happened? All of a sudden they're arresting people for getting up to the microphone. What the heck just happened? Government. That's what happened. Neon flashing, I told you so. So it was interesting to spend time with Butler over the last couple of days. And I want to tell you this one story. What I did not know is that Butler Schaefer, Mr. Anarchist, he was, after law school and so on, he gets his degree in his bar car, whatever. After law school, he goes back to Nebraska, where he's from. He was executive director of whatever the Republican Party. He was a paid staffer in charge of doing whatever, creating conventions, make sure you got a speaking thing, coordinating, the talk, he's inside boy. He goes to, I think it was San Francisco, but wherever it was, he went to the Republican National Convention where Barry Goldwater in 1964 got the nomination. Okay, Barry Goldwater, GOP nominee that night. The party's going, yeehaw, man! We're partying like it's 1999. That night, he goes to one of the senior people in the campaign. And he asks him. He says, "So what's he going to do? Which department's he going to cut first?" He gets in there, man, rock and roll. We're going to cut back gun. They go, "Oh man, where you been naive, farm boy? The best we can do is slow the growth of government." Yeah, okay, I'm done. And he becomes an anarchist. He goes on to teach at the Rampart College, which was a freedom school in Colorado Springs, and he's telling the history of, like Leonard Reed and Robert Lefebvre and all these people that were the nucleus, and Murray Rothbard, and how these were the people back before Ron Paul, and then Ron Paul's influenced by a lot of these guys. Lou Rockwell comes out of this, and the Mises Institute, and all. We get the lineage of where this starts, and always starts from an idea, the passion of a few individual people that blossom into an entire movement, and then people want to contain it, they want to control it. I'm going to share some stuff with you in the next segment, some inside baseball, but I want to kind of premise it a little bit. I'm going to be paying attention to how this 2012 election cycle goes, because it's so instructive of what happens when you try to collectivize stuff. I get a call this morning. The Quartzsite 10, the 10 officers, they're all concerned now that there are some people that have tried to get in charge of the fundraising for their attorney. This guy goes to Quartzsite, whatever, he's from Ohio, he's in control of whatever. I want to do it, I'll take care of it. Now it's a central command, and do you incorporate, you get the name, you do the trademark. Whoa, man, I can already see where this is going. Way too much organizing. Way too many government forms to fill out. Wait, how we do it? Chip in. All right, we need, there it goes, done. Nope. Gotta have political power. Gotta have a suitcase with a handle that we can control and go around with a voting block or something. So I can already go, wow, this is, that's why anything to do with politics and so on, I do the education thing, but I step back. I'm like, whoa, I already know where this goes. So the Ron Paul campaign is, having its own internal whatever the heck, and I don't care. I'm just worried about the individuals that want to express themselves, how they're being treated, so we will find out. People that have been very instrumental in pushing support of Dr. Paul on their own have been, a lot of different various groups and so on. But I think what we're going to start seeing is how the campaign of the mind, that all that activity that happened outside of it before was just money that they could have had. If we eliminate all this, freedom-oriented, they're just doing it on their own thing, well, all that effort and money will go in through the campaign. Will it? I don't know. We're going to find out. But there are some signs that we need to pay attention to so we can understand how we might do this in the future. Pay attention.